This is the 2021 Pilot Flying J South Atlantic Conference Baseball Tournament Championship. 8 teams. 5 days. One champion. From Smokies Stadium, this is the 2021 Pilot Flying JSAC Baseball Tournament.
Welcome back to Smokies Stadium. Here we go. Elimination game getting down to the wire. Wingate awaits in the championship game tonight. It is Carson-Newman and Newberry facing off for the first time in this conference tournament. It is the 11th conference tournament meeting between the two programs. Carson-Newman has won 7 of the 10 in each of the last 2. And it's Jake Wright that gets the ball for Carson-Newman against this lineup for Newberry that put up 18 runs last night. Luke Orr in the 2 slot drove in 7, and he scored 4. Monster night for him. Zachary Bales leads us off, and the right-handed hitter takes the first pitch fastball off the plate away for ball 1. And we are underway here at 147. Carson-Newman just losing to Wingate. And the pitch is right down the middle for a strike. Both of these teams need to win 2 to hoist a trophy. Carson-Newman seeking its 5th, Newberry seeking its 2nd. But they got to get past each other here. The 1-1 pitch off the outside corner. 2-1. Umpires today, Lindy Hall calling the balls and strikes, Bobby Dunning at first, Andy Glenn at second, and Gary Keller at third base. 2 balls, 1 strike, the pitch. That's a fastball in the inside corner. Well, Jake Wright has been really good this year for Carson-Newman, making his 12th appearance, his 3rd start, 3-3 record, and a 4.55 ERA. The pitch. Foul ball back. Jostles the net to keep the count even at 2-2. Newberry's offense has done exactly what it wants to do the last couple games. Pounding out 26 hits in wins over Catawba and Tusculum after being shut down by Hunter Dula of Wingate. Pop up on this pitch is fouling back into the seats on the first base side. Really have to be pretty unlucky here at the ballpark. There's a good deal of fans overall. Some Carson-Newman fans still piling in. But if a ball finds you and you're not ready, you have to be pretty unlucky because there's a decent chunk of open seats in the sun. The 2-2 is a ground ball out to short, or out to third rather. Bose picks it, has to throw, and that's way offline. It bangs against the fencing, but it'll be an infield single, and Newberry with an infield single to start off its day. That ball just deadened in the ground and an infield single. And Bose just couldn't get it out of his glove, and then his throw was way offline. And in steps the scorching hot hitting Luke Orr. Orr is 7 for 10 in the conference tournament. And he went 4 for 6 last night with 7 RBIs. And he squares the bunt, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Well, what you have to do against Newberry, you have to defend. And you got to be really good at it, too. Otherwise, they are going to make your life miserable. The interesting thing, though, for Newberry is they have been on the field for almost 11 hours in their last 2 games. The 0-1. Fly ball hit in the air down the left field line. Lengthy run for Thompson, still running. This one is foul as it bounces off the bullpen mound for strike 2. Thompson was hanging out towards the left center alleyway and was never going to get over there. Newberry's just happy to see the sun. They ended their game against Catawba after the hour and 8-minute rain delay at 1:09 a.m. and last night's contest wrapped up after midnight. Bales at first, just 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Wright pauses. Now pitches. And Orr rips it into right center field. That's going to find an alleyway and roll all the way to the fence. Orr's hot hitting continues. Bale steps on third. He's hustling in. Orr hustling over to third. The relay throw is late. An RBI triple for Luke Orr, and it's a hot start for the Wolves and a 1-0 lead. Infield single and a triple. And it's Newberry that gets on the board first. And now Jack Harris to get his turn. Hit a monster home run here last night. Went 2 for 6 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. The right-hander pitches, and Harris pops this one back over our heads foul for strike 1. Wright, a freshman from Ringgold, Georgia, at 5'10", 175. Fastball, slider, and maybe a changeup here and there. Wright lifts the leg, now pitches, and a swing and a line drive to center. Brown coming on, still coming on. Tried to play it on a hop, and now it ricochets off of his body. Harris is hustling for second, and he's going to get in safely. Newberry not wasting any time to take a 2-0 lead. And an ominous start here for Carson-Newman. The question is, I would imagine that would be an RBI single and then the error. I actually gave that initial play an error rather than a hit. And Wright working from the stretch to left-hand hitting Aiden Bauer. He pulls one sharply on the ground to second, picked up by Carpenter. Throws out Bauer, but that is the first out of the inning, and it gets Harris over to third. Now Tom Griffin out of the dugout to go have a word with his catcher, Matt Parkinson. And the rest of the infield as they try to dial this thing in. Carson-Newman lost to Wingate 8-2. It was a good start for Mason Mooney, but Wingate was able to get to him after Mooney retired 7 straight to begin the game, and things completely different here. First 3 reached, 2 have scored, and another run now 90 feet away. And the hot hitting Wolves continue. Allman will step in, 5 for 11 so far in the tournament. So the right-hand pitcher dealing with Allman. And the pitch from Wright misses down and away for ball 1. Wright against Newberry this season, pitched twice. First time around in February 20th, gave up a run, but was pretty good for an inning and a third. The 1-0, high and tight, 2-0. The next time around, though, he was dominant when Carson-Newman secured a 2-0 shutout. On April 14th, 4 shutout innings to earn a save. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Allman lines it to first, picked up by Jackson, and that's a huge out. He was playing in on the grass. Makes the grab. And now, with a runner at third base and 2 outs, Wright can get out of this without any further damage. Nick Butler's been a hot hitter this tournament. 2 of 6 last night with a couple runs scored. His average has risen to .325 on the year. 2-0 Newberry in the first elimination game. The pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. The winner plays for a conference championship later this evening against Wingate. The loser goes home. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good pitch from right. 1-1. Well, as we've seen throughout this tournament, the team that scores first typically takes charge, but there have been some nice comebacks all weekend. The 0-2. Fly ball off a first foul. And you really do wonder what Newberry has to offer in the bullpen. And honestly, the same can be said for Carson-Newman. You would think that on paper, Wingate would be in the best spot in terms of its pitching staff. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. High heater from right ends the inning, but a couple runs come across to start off the ball game, and Newberry has taken a 2-0 lead on Carson-Newman as the Eagles are stepping to the plate for the first time in this game, needing some offense. Down 2-0.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Newberry gets 2 in the top of the first inning. And Joe LaFiora will face off against Carson-Newman's lineup. And Tyler Thompson, who's having a great tournament so far, 8 of 19 in the tournament, first team all-conference pick, leads off Carson-Newman's club. Pretty much the same lineup. Andrew Carpenter, the only change. He's out at second base and in the 7th spot of the lineup. And LaFiora is making his second appearance here of the postseason through 5 innings against Wingate on Friday night as the lefty pitches, and Thompson takes a firm fastball down the middle for strike 1. Thompson against Wingate, 3 hits in 4 tries, including a homer. The 0-1. Thompson pops this one up. First base side, this will get back into the seats a few rows. And LaFiora gets ahead at no balls and 2 strikes. LaFiora, a 5'11", 190-pound left-hander, redshirt sophomore from Philadelphia. And the southpaw now has his sign. Brings it up there. Thompson, foul tip into the mid of Clements for strike 3. And a good start for the southpaw. So now Gunnar Ricketts on a left-on-left matchup coming up. Ricketts 4 for 14 this weekend. And LaFiora into his motion and pitching, and Ricketts takes off the plate away for ball 1. Game time temperature today, 75 degrees. Beautiful weather here at the park. LaFiora solid all year, his 11th start of the season as he pitches. And Ricketts slashes one into left center field. That'll sink in for a base hit. And Carson-Newman has its first knock of the day. Ricketts, 5th hit of the tournament. And that opens the door here for Carson-Newman. Eagles were uncharacteristic in the first game against Wingate, making 3 outs on the bases, and you'd imagine that was addressed. Henry Jackson has lambasted Newberry pitching. 7 for 15 on the season. Overall at 342 on the year. 2-0 Newberry in the bottom of the first. LaFiora pitches. And there's a pitch that misses downstairs for ball 1. Well, I don't want to make it this simple, but whichever team can get the starting pitcher out of the game quicker probably gets the advantage in this game. And that's honestly probably true the rest of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Bunt attempt from Jackson. Pops it up. And Clements and LaFiora bang into each other. And Clements makes the catch and immediately has a conversation with LaFiora. You could hear them both calling it. LaFiora never looked, and that was nearly a catastrophe. But instead, it's a failed bunt attempt by Jackson. And now Matt Parkinson, 4 for 10 here in the tournament, 379 on the year. 2-0 Newberry, bottom of the first, 2 outs and a runner on. Well, Wingate crushed Carson-Newman with 2 outs. And the Eagles flipped the script against Newberry in this elimination game. The lefty pitches. Parkinson ropes it out to center field, but Terrence was playing very deep, and he's out there to pull it down, and that ends the inning. A hit, a man left for the Eagles in the first, and we're through an inning. Newberry ahead 2-0.
What defines a truly distinguished university? Visionary leadership, innovative teaching and learning, compelling evidence of success, a flexible learning environment. These are the traits that have made Anderson University one of 200 schools in the world to be chosen as an Apple School of Distinction. Anderson University, knowledge for the journey.
You're right, that's a 5th floor problem.
Not in my house. No. Not today.
Jimmy, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico?
Happier than Dikembe Mutombo blocking a shot.
Nice.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Ian Clements leads off the top of the second inning for Newberry. The right-handed hitting catcher is 2 for 6 so far on the weekend. 0 for 5, though, against Carson-Newman. The team split in the regular season, each playing 2 games on their home fields as Jake Wright pitches, misses off the plate away, and after a check with Bobby Dunnigan at first, the call confirmed. Newberry gets the first 3 men on base in the first. And Wright pitches, and it's a bunt attempt. Third base side, perfectly placed. Picked up by Bose. Throw to first. Not in time. And Ian Clements does what Newberry does best, and that's drop down bunts and promptly provide pressure. Good hustle from Clements. And indeed, he beats it down the line on a perfect bunt. There's not a better team in the country, at least I can't imagine, than Newberry at bunting. They could teach clinics on it. Zane Terrence to stand in. 2 for 9 in the tournament, hitting just 187 on the year. 2-0 Newberry in the second. He squares the bunt and bunts it foul back to the netting. Terrence is interesting. Just 187 hitter this season, but he's super patient. His on-base percentage is nearly 370 because he leads the team in hit by pitches, has been plunked 10 times, and is one of the team leaders in walks. He's drawn 16 base on balls already. The 0-1 pitch. A bunt here, third base side, picked up by Bose. He tosses to first. It's high and offline, and it goes into the corner. Over to third base goes Clements. He's rounding the bag and now stops as the throw comes in. It's wide of right, and Carson-Newman throwing the ball around the ballpark. And that'll put runners at second and third with nobody out, and it's a nightmare beginning for the Eagles. Terrence with a good bunt, and you have to be sure defensively. That's an E5 on a bunt attempt, and the Eagles have made 2 errors already in this game, and you're not going to beat Newberry if you make those kind of mistakes. And with nobody out, Dalton Lansdowne to stand in, 3 for 9 in the conference tournament. Last night went hitless, but drew 3 walks and scored 3 times. Wright dealing with all sorts of pressure. He comes set, now brings it plateward, and it's on the inside corner with a fastball for a strike. How about the defensive alignment that Carson-Newman has right now? Micah Genter, the team's shortstop, is playing third base, and he's in front of the bag, and Zach Bose is playing the shortstop position. The 0-1, high and tight with a fastball, 1-1. Well, that just goes to show what Carson-Newman thinks of what Newberry is able to do with their best defensive infielder. At third base, Genter has covered all sorts of ground in the tournament. The 1-1, check swing, foul ball back into the right. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Well, Newberry is not really a strikeout team, even though Hunter Dula struck him out 10 times on Friday night. Struck out 4 times last night, the pitch. Line drive over the first baseman and down the line for a base hit. Clements is in to score. Here comes Terrence right behind him. The throw is well offline. A 2-run single from Dalton Lansdowne makes it 4-0 Newberry. Perfect piece of hitting by Lansdowne. Flung it into right. And in a 4-0 game, the Eagles will have to get the bullpen going. Corey Wilson is heading down to the bullpen. Well, I'm sure Carson-Newman would have liked to have seen Jake Wright go deep. But right now, it's elimination or bust, and the top of the lineup, Bales, is at the plate. And already in a 4-0 hole. Newberry seizing their opportunity here in the Conference Baseball Championships. The pitch, that hits him. Fastball high and tight with a runner on the move. And the wheels are coming off here for Carson-Newman. Base hit, E5. 2-run single, hit batter. That's your second inning so far. And Corey Wilson is doing everything he can to get hot as quickly as possible. And Jake Wright, who had been saved for a game like this, and with how well the Eagles had played in the tournament prior, not looking like the team that had to play a 4.5-hour game last night. Luke Orr at the plate. He's 8 for 11 in the tournament. And the first pitch, he bunts one third base side, and it goes foul. Genter picks it up. Orr has now driven in 10 of the team's 26 runs in the tournament after an RBI triple his first time up. And just ripping the cover off the ball. A great start here for Newberry. Still nobody out, the 0-1. On the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Well, obviously in an ideal scenario here, Wright is somehow able to limit this damage in the second inning and stay out there and give Carson-Newman a shot. 0-2 the count. I'll look back at second base, another one. And now a pitch that misses off the plate, down and away. Counts at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wingate awaits the winner in a true title game coming up tonight. 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings. So far for Newberry. Jake Wright comes set. He pitches. And a foul ball. Orr had just a piece of it. Flicking it foul. Well, the last time around, Wright was able to run through this Newberry lineup. 4 shutout innings, but not here. Eagles shuffle around the defense once more. Zach Bose goes back to third base, and Genter's back to his normal shortstop position with 2 strikes on Orr. 1-2 the count. Wright pauses. Now brings it up there, and he misses down and away, 2-2. Well, this is what Carson-Newman's offense hasn't been able to do. He's get a bunch of guys on base and then produce once they're out there. For much of the last couple weeks, even though the Eagles started 3-0 in this tournament, great pitching led the way. Now a 2-2. Orr pulls it sharply out to second. Carpenter bobbles it and has to throw to first base for the out. Probably could have been a double play. Orr does run well. Nevertheless, it's a ground out. But both runners move into scoring position. Eagles very shaky defensively right now. At the very least, could have gotten the lead runner and kept the double play ball intact. Instead, they could only get the out at first. And here's Jack Harris, who had an RBI single his first time up. Newberry already had 4-0 in the second. And there's 2 runners on in scoring position with Newberry a chance to blow this thing open. The pitch misses down and in for ball 1. Well, entering the tournament, Newberry's offense was based solely on the ability of stealing bases and putting teams in bad spots as Harris fouls it off. But a team that got hot right at the right time of the year, cruising against Lenore Rhine in the last series of the year, winning 3 of 4. The right-hander Wright is set. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Haven't been a lot of those here, but gets a big one there to get ahead at 1-2. Wright dangles the arm out in front of him. If he ever had a strikeout in him, now would be the time. Infield in, the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. He gets the punch out that he needs, his second, and he's now 1 out away from limiting it to a 2-run inning for the second time. Down and away, and Harris fans on it. Harris is really the only man, as well as Allman, that are big strikeout targets. Both have struck out over 20 times. Otherwise, a lot of these Newberry hitters are less than 20, and some in the single digits. Aiden Bauer stands in, grounded to second, his only time up. As Wright pitches, and he hits the outside corner with a fastball, 0-1. Already 4 runs on 5 base hits for Newberry. Carson-Newman has committed 2 errors as well, not helping their own cause in an elimination game. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, strike 2. When Carson-Newman woke up today, it could have gotten in and out of here in 2 games with a championship. Instead, here we are at about 2:15, and the Eagles' title hopes are on the ropes. 0-2 the count to Bauer. The pitch way off the plate. Wright lost his hat as well on the way down. Gave everything he had on a fastball away, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Newberry playing its game early. Runners at second and third. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Wright gets back-to-back punch-outs to get out of the jam. But the Eagles create issues again with an error that leads to a 2-run single for Dalton Lansdowne. And it's a 4-0 game. Newberry in front in the elimination game here on the SAC Digital Network.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Catawba College is a story of transformation. It's a place where students' creativity is fostered, a place of inspiration to go beyond the classroom, a place of belonging no matter who you are. Mentorships, a broad curriculum, and hands-on experiences prepare students for employment and a lifetime of learning. At Catawba, you begin as you are and transform with your interests and experiences. We're Catawba, and we have a good story to tell.
Harrison Travis leads off the bottom of the second inning, and Carson-Newman's offense has to get going. Been a rough day at the plate for the Eagles, trailing at 4-0. And the first pitch to him from La Fiora misses up and in. Carson-Newman had opportunities against Wingate, but just 2 solo home runs were the only runs scored. The 1-0 down the middle for a strike. La Fiora looking settled in right now. Needed just 8 pitches to get through the first, and Carson-Newman is not working pitch counts. The 1-1. Travis swings and misses. Austin Mitchell needed just 101 pitches to mow down the Eagles in a complete game effort for Wingate. The lefty pitches the 1-2, and Travis strikes out swinging. Second punch out for La Fiora. And now Zach Bose will try to make up for his defensive miscues as he comes to the plate. 3 for 12 in the tournament. He homered, had one of those 2 solo blasts for the Eagles against the Dogs. La Fiora works from the windup, settled in early as he pitches and misses high on a fastball. Counts at 1 ball and no strikes. The lefty delivers. Bose swings and launches one to left. Heading back to the fence and watching this one leave the yard is Butler. Bose homers again. Life from the Eagles makes it 4-1. Bose hopping all over a pitch out over the plate and blasted it out of the ballpark. Finally, the Eagles get some offense, but they've all had solo homers all day long. As the right-handed swingy Andrew Carpenter stands in back in the starting lineup, and he takes ball 1 off the plate away. Well, certainly the message for La Fiora is keep cooking. And don't worry about that long ball as he pitches, and Carpenter takes a strike on the inside corner. Well, if Carson-Newman's going to get some things done, this bottom third of the order has to be better. A combined in the field, 7 for 36. The 1-1. Missing downstairs, 2-1. This bottom part of the group has to get it going if Carson-Newman is going to get a chance to play for a tournament trophy. Long droughts for both programs, the 2-1. Carpenter skies one off of third. This will stay in the field of play, and foul ground Allman, the shortstop, calls, but it's the third baseman Bauer that makes an attempt along the tarp third base side, and it drops foul out of his reach. Carson-Newman hasn't won a tournament championship since '07. The only title for Newberry came back in 1999. They beat Carson-Newman 15-7 in the second game of that tournament, and that was one of the greatest Carson-Newman teams of all time. Base is empty, a run in the second, the 2-2. Carpenter fouls another one off. That 1999 Carson-Newman team won the regular season title. Eventually went on to win the South Region Championship. Defeated number 1 ranked Florida Southern. Finished the year 42-14. The 2-2 pitch. Carpenter hits another one foul back. Hanging around. Something about Carson-Newman's second baseman today that they're seeing the ball well. Bryce Hanley had a good at bat. And now the 2-2 again. Carpenter strikes out swinging, though. The pitch is dropped. Clements throws down to first to complete the strikeout. LaFiora has 3 punch-outs early. And in a 4-1 game, we'll go to work on Charlie Brown. Brown just 3 for 14 in the tournament. His average still, though, above 300 at 311 on the year. And LaFiora works from the windup as he kicks and now fires. And Brown rolls one back up the middle. To his right, lands down, picks it up to his left, throws on the run, and gets Brown to end the inning. But Carson-Newman gets a run back. It's a 4-1 ball game thanks to the home run from Bose. A long ball to left. His second of the day between the two games. Makes it a 3-run game through 2 here on the SAC Digital Network. Jake Wright looking to buckle down early. The first 3 reached in the first inning in a 2-run frame. The first 4 reached in a 2-run second inning against Wright. Carson-Newman has made a couple errors as well. And while Newberry has left 3 on base, Wright to work here in the 3rd inning against Colin Allman. 4-1 Newberry in the elimination game. And the first pitch from Wright is off the plate away for ball 1. Well, the winner gets a chance to take on Wingate in the nightcap of this triple-header. The loser goes home. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to third. Past to diving Genter and inside of the third base bag and down into the corner. Thompson gathers, is hustling to second base is Allman. A leadoff double, and for the 3rd straight inning, a leadoff hit for Newberry. That's the first leadoff hit to leave the infield. Had been an infield single and a bunt single. And Genter having to play third base with Bose out at shortstop. Eagles making that shuffling around. Butler at the plate now. 4-1 ball game. And the right-hander Wright works from the stretch. Yet again, a high-stress inning as he pitches in a bunt attempt. Hot hit into the air. It bounces, it rolls, and it goes foul along the third base line. Well, there aren't going to be a lot of mistakes when Newberry tries to lay down a bunt. Pretty good attendance here at the ballpark. Might not look that way from various angles. There are a lot of people underneath the shade as temperatures are nearing 80 degrees. Right? Comes set with a runner at second. Butler squares again, bunts it in the air again. Parkinson can't find it, and it bounces to his left-hand side foul for strike two. Well, that's twice that Butler has popped a ball into the air, and twice that he's gotten away with it. Well, the thing that Newberry does, and this is a strategy that's lost in baseball, is get a man on, get him over, get him in. Don't try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Until Harris's home run last night, this was a team that had one of the fewest home run totals in the country as Wright misses high on a breaking ball, 1-2. And if you think about it, Tusculum led the league in scoring this season at nearly 10 runs per game. You do the math, that's a run an inning. The 1-2, foul ball back. Hold it right there. So this strategy that we're looking at, where you get the leadoff man on, drop a bunt down, a ground out, put the ball in play, a sac fly, whatever it is, then you get a run, you put up 9 by the end of the day if you score in every inning. The 1-2, swing and a miss. There's strike three. Fourth punch out for Jake Wright. Needed that one, as he's needed all of them. Wright has the strikeout pitch working as Ian Clements will step to the plate, the right-handed hitting catcher. Ignited the 2-run rally with a bunt single in the second. 4-1. Third-seeded Newberry looking to become the second straight 3-seed to win a conference title. Wingate awaits the winner of this elimination game, and the first pitch to Clements is a check swing foul ball for strike one. But it's one of the big reasons why Newberry over the last several years has been right at the top of the league, including a regular season title back in 2019, and they hosted the regional. Coach Russell Triplett knows what he wants, finds players that fit that mold, and they mesh well. The 0-1 pitch just missed off the plate. 1-1. Wright pauses. Long look back at second. There goes the runner. The pitch is taken. The throw down to third base. What a snare by Genter on a low throw by Parkinson to make this grab and slap the tag on the foot of Allman. That was incredible. Not a good throw from Parkinson as he one-hopped it in there and a little wide, but Genter made a great play and slapped the tag on. The right-hander pitches and is swinging a foul ball back, and now an opportunity for a quick inning for Wright. Wright dangles the arm down. And now here comes a 2-2 pitch and a ground ball back up the middle and into center field, a base hit. So just when it feels like an opportunity to have a potentially a stress-free inning, Clements says, let me get my second hit of the day. Now Zane Terrence. Corey Wright has been throwing, or check that, Corey Wilson. Jake Wright's on the mound. Corey Wilson's down in the bullpen. Terrence at the plate. 4-1 game rather here in the third, and the pitch is in there on a fastball for strike one. This is the time of the day when looking at the scoreboard and left is really difficult to see. It's faded out there with the LED lights. One strike pitch, High pop-up backwards. This will get back into the seats. Wright gets ahead at 0-2. Already 58 pitches for Jake Wright. Flip that on the other side, and it's 22 for Joe LaFiora. 2-strike pitch coming from Wright. And misses down and away, 1-2. Clements leads away from first base. And the 1-2 pitch. Fly ball hit out to right center field. Brown has to retreat, and the center fielder circles underneath it, and he's there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. So Wright works around a couple hits, leaves the man, and it's a 4-1 Newberry lead through 2.5 here on the SAC Digital Network.
Emmy. Okay, let's get started. When you're first looking at where to go to school, what were you searching for?
Well, when I first started searching, I knew I wanted to go to a place where I wouldn't feel limited.
Where I wouldn't just grow as an athlete, but I'd also learn everything that I needed to know to launch my own business.
Somewhere that would truly prepare me for the real world, for what I was going to do next.
Where I could grow as an artist and develop my craft.
I wanted to go to a place where I wouldn't be just another number, a place where people really knew me.
Where over time, I would become a leader.
Somewhere that would show me all that I can be.
Somewhere that believed in me.
Somewhere that after I left, I would be proud of the person that I became.
And I found
that place
at Coker.
As you would expect, a heavy Carson-Newman contingent in attendance here at the ballpark, with the campus about 20 minutes up the road. And in this elimination game, it is the Eagles trailing by 3 in the bottom of the third. Micah Genter, the only man for either side not to reach, is at the plate, and left-hander pitches and pumps in a first pitch fastball for a strike. Impressive start to this one for LaFiora. Here's the pitch. That's down and away. Well, what Carson-Newman has been unable to do is work up pitch counts against the pitchers they've seen today. The 1-1 off the plate, 2-1. LaFiora threw 87 pitches on Friday. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch off the plate, 3-1. He did walk 4 in that 5 innings, eventually took the loss. The 3-1. Genter gives up a strike on a fastball down the middle. Wingate got such great pitching from Hunter Dula in that game. In fact, they fanned 14 Newberry hitters. The 3-2 now. High and away, ball 4, and the Eagles get the leadoff man aboard in the third. Lineup flips back over, and here comes Tyler Thompson. Thompson struck out swinging his first time up. So let's see if this opens up an opportunity for the Eagles to begin a comeback, or if LaFiora continues to pump it in there. Genter at first base, nobody out. Eagles down 4-1, the pitch, and Thompson fouls it straight back to the screen. La Fiora coming set with the 1-1. A long hold, now the pitch. Thompson fouls another one back. La Fiora, much better job this time around, getting ahead in the count. Well, the weather throughout the weekend has been hit and miss. Reason why we're in this predicament of a triple header today is because we had to cancel one game, or postpone rather, one game on Saturday. Pick to first. Genter back in a low throw, and a good job by Orr blocking it over there. Carson-Newman's won each of the last two. Both have come in this stadium. 12-5 in 2017. Paul Kirby hit a grand slam in that one. And Vince Apicella threw a complete game shutout in 2016. The 0-2. Thompson spoils another one, foul off of first. Newberry led big last night against Tusculum thanks to a 6-run second after falling in a 3-0 hole. No balls and 2 strikes. La Fiora set. And here's the pitch. And Thompson hits one down the right field line. This is slicing out of play into the front row of the bleachers. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Well, entering the final weekend of the regular season, these two teams were really the two key spots on who would get one of the final buys. But Newberry won 3 of 4. The Eagles would have needed to sweep Coker. They only took 3 of 4 there and had Newberry and LR split. So Newberry got right into the double elimination. Carson-Newman has had to earn its way this far into the tournament. And another pick to first, and once more back, Genter. The top 2 seeds are out. And the question is, do we get a third 4-5 matchup in this tournament? Or does the number 3 seed Newberry stick around? 2 strikes and nothing the count. A pause from La Fiora, the pitch, and Thompson spoils another one. Game working at a little bit of a slower pace. Both teams understanding how important these games are. And every single pitch is. The 0-2 on the way, and another foul ball. Well, if you tuned into the first broadcast, spoke with the assistant commissioner of the conference, Christian Stryker. And with the shrunken field this year, if one of these two teams crashes the party and wins this conference tournament, that leaves one less at-large spot in the region. Only 3 of those available, and one would assume that Catawba is in the driver's seat to get one. Pick to first base, Genter back. The Indians top 10 in the country, and despite losing 2 of the 3 games that they played here, their record and resume would certainly lend itself to getting a spot in the postseason. Another 2-strike pitch here from La Fiora, and Thompson yanks it into left field for a base hit. Splashes down a couple times. Genter will stop at second base. A walk and a base hit, and the Eagles bring the tying run to the plate here in the third. Well, the door has opened for Carson-Newman, their first real threat. And a 1-out single from Ricketts in the first, and a 1-out home run from Bose in the second. That's been it up until the third inning. La Fiora, 13 pitches already in this inning, hasn't recorded an out after he needed 22 to face 1 over the minimum through the first 2. 4-1 Newberry, bottom of the third inning. Newberry thinking a bunt might be on. The corner infield is in. Ricketts does square, and he takes outside for ball one. One ball and no strikes the pitch. Ricketts bunts one in the air, and that's a line out. They do not throw anywhere else, and the Eagles fail to get the bunt down. So that's a critical mistake. Can't get the runners over. And now Henry Jackson with one out. Well, plays like that are just so inflated when you get to this tournament. Because as I was talking about with Newberry in the top of this inning, you just get a run every inning and you feel like you give yourself a chance. Obviously, you want to get more than that in situations like this where the first two reach. But the left-hand pitcher will deal with Henry Jackson, and Jackson checks his swing but takes a strike. Can Carson-Newman find a way to get a clutch hit? Pull closer. If you remember the last time these teams met, after the Eagles blanked Newberry, Carson-Newman made a monster comeback. The 0-1. Jackson hits it in the air to right, but playing it perfectly is Harris as he retreats. Pulls it out of the sky, tagging from second and hustling to third, Genter. And that just goes to show that bunt situation. That would have been a run instead. There's runners at the corners with two outs. But the last time they met, Carson-Newman made that big comeback, soared all the way back to take a lead of 7-6, but couldn't hold on to it. And now we'll get a quick little trek to the mound here. It's been a high-stress inning for La Fiora. The problem that the Eagles are looking at is, will it matter if they can't score? 4 runs, 7 hits, and 4 left on base so far for Newberry. A run on 3 hits and 2 errors and a man left aboard for Carson-Newman. La Fiora at 39 pitches. Recorded 8 outs so far, and the outfield is going to play very, very deep. It's so interesting with Newberry because sometimes you look out there and you look at their defense, and their outfielders are playing a few feet in front of the warning track. Well, that's just the confidence that they have in their outfielders, that they can, A, get a good read, and B, pretty much track down any ball. It is so hard to find a gap unless you hit a solid line drive. Otherwise, these 3 outfielders can pluck them down with the best of them. So Parkinson stands in, lined out to center his only time up. Runners are at the corners with 2 outs. Newberry 4, Carson-Newman 1 in the elimination contest. The lefty pitches, and he bounces one in the dirt. Clements a good block to keep it in front of him for ball 1. Just shows the confidence that they have in Clements. Well, one thing to keep an eye out for is, do you start Tyler Thompson, who's 7 for 9 in stolen base attempts, but a lefty on the mound thwarts that. The 1-0. Parkinson ropes it out to deep left center field. Butler giving chase, still going back. This one's off the base of the wall. It bounces out towards the infield. Picked up by the center fielder, Terrence. Here comes the relay throw. Thompson slides in. He's safe. The Eagles have scored twice on the Parkinson 2-run double and pull within a run. It's 4-3. About 5 or 6 feet away from leaving the park and tying the game. But Parkinson picks up RBIs number 28 and 29. And a clutch 2-out hit trims it down to a 1-run game. And here's Harrison Travis, who struck out his only time up. LaFiora pauses. He pitches, and Travis flies one foul off of first. Well, if you're Wingate and you're sitting around watching this game, probably the only thing that you care about is that both teams have to use a lot of pitching. Because after Austin Mitchell threw a complete game effort, Wingate's in great shape. And unless one of these two teams gets a lengthy outing from somebody, Wingate has a big advantage going into the title game. The 0-1. Travis swings and misses. Went down on a changeup. LaFiora gets ahead at 0-2. Travis had 2 hits against Wingate. Now 5 in the tournament. 2 strikes to nothing the count. LaFiora pitches and misses down and in on the back foot of the right-hand hitter. Well, one would glean that with Corey Wilson down in the bullpen, he'd be the man to come out in the 4th. That would at least be what you would think with how frequently he has been throwing down there. Although Jake Wright has settled in maybe a little bit. The 1-2 off the plate, 2-2. Wright only faced 1 over the minimum in the 3rd. But he has nearly faced the lineup 2 complete times already. Dalton Lansdowne, the 9-hole batter, leads off the 4th. 2-2 pitch off the plate on an off-speed pitch, 3-2. High stress inning right now for LaFiora. He's thrown more pitches in this frame than he had in the first 2 innings combined. 24 now. 4-3, Newberry leads. Carson-Newman has scored twice. The tying run's at second. Here's the pitch. Travis spoils one. Late saw-cutting swing to push it down the line. Four-3 Newberry in the 3rd. And another payoff pitch coming here from Travis. And another ball pulled. Foul. Good at bats from Carson-Newman. And the thing that you're seeing is one of the big things that is out there in analytics now. The 2nd, 3rd time through the lineups. Very, very challenging to get these days. The numbers are skewed heavily towards the hitters as you get through that 2nd time and then through the 3rd time. And it's the 2nd time LaFiora has seen Travis, and after striking him out the 1st time, a good sequence going here. Parkinson at 2nd. And another payoff pitch. Hard hit line drive, but at the shortstop Allman. He makes the grab, and that ends the inning. But a good inning if you're Carson-Newman. The 2-out, 2-run double from Matt Parkinson has pulled the Eagles within a run. A long drive from Parkinson to left center that bangs the fence. And the Eagles trail it by 1. Newberry stepping back to the plate in the 4th here on the SAC Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there
Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Carson-Newman indeed does go to the bullpen. Corey Wilson, the Volunteer State Community College transfer, 5'10", 185, a junior from Germantown, Tennessee, is on for his 8th appearance of the year, just his 2nd out of the bullpen. 21 innings pitched. He's 3-1, but has an ERA north of 10, mainly because of his issues with walks, 16 of them in those 21 innings. And he gets 9-1-2 in the Newberry lineup. Dalton Lansdowne will start us off. A 2-run single, his only time up. 4-3 Newberry in the 4th. Winner gets a chance to go to the title game as the first pitch is a bunt attempt shown and a pitch missing down for ball 1. Well, Wilson was dicey but effective when these teams played on April 14th. The 1-0. Fastball in there for a strike. Wilson got the win. He went 3 innings but gave up 6 hits and a walk. But the key thing, all 7 of those base runners were stranded. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to third and past the diving Genter. Down the line and into the corner. Exact same way they just started the 3rd inning. Allman started with a double in the same spot. This time it's Lansdowne with a leadoff double. His 2nd hit of the day. I mean, Genter is playing right on the line. And the placement of these hitters is just flawless right now. And in steps Zachary Bales. He's singled and been hit by a pitch so far. It's a 1-run ball game. The Eagles are into their bullpen. Jake Wright, 3 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned, 7 hits. He fans 4 but throws 60 pitches. And a lot in stressful situations. Wilson comes set at the belt and pitches, and a bunt attempt shown, and a curveball misses down and away for ball 1. Carson-Newman pitching all season has had issues like this. When the leadoff man gets on base, opponents reaching nearly 40% of the time against Carson-Newman's pitching staff. They've been much better with runners aboard. The 1-0. Bunt attempt shown. This time it's a strike to Bales as he brings it back. 1-1. Carson-Newman's going to have to play 3 times today if they win this one. Newberry would get a chance at Wingate later in a rematch of their opening round matchup. The pitch. Bales bunts it, picked up by Wilson. He'll take the out at first base. On the sacrifice, 1-3. To third base goes Lansdowne. And now Luke Orr. And honestly, I'd consider giving up the intentional walk here to Orr. I know that Carson-Newman coach Tom Griffin probably won't think the same way. But Orr now has 8 hits on the tournament, more than anybody else in the field. Digs in. RBI triple his first time up. Ground out to second his next time. 1 for 2. 1 out and the runner at third. 4-3 Newberry. The pitch misses down and away for ball 1. I mentioned the walk issues for Wilson, but a lot of those came early. In his last 6 2/3, just 3 walks after he walked 13 in 14 innings to start the year. The 1-0. This is off the plate, 2-0. First base is open, as I mentioned, and now they are going to point and say, we'll intentionally walk him, and probably could have saved some time and just done that right from the beginning. That brings Jack Harris to the plate. RBI single back in the first. He struck out swinging, however, in the second when he had a chance to produce with runners at second and third base. 4-3 Newberry, top of the fourth. Wilson looking to twirl up a double play ball. The pitch. This is downstairs for ball 1. One out, runners at the corners. Wilson's ready. Harris awaits the pitch. This is down again. 2 balls and no strikes, and those issues for Wilson starting to flare up here. Two balls and no strikes. Wilson has to find one here with that orange mitt. He pitches. And a ground ball to third, and it's past Bose and down into the corner. Scoring from third base, lands down. Thompson overruns it as it ricochets back towards center. Racing around is Orr. He's in safely, and the throw comes back to the infield late. It's an RBI triple for Harris that brings in 2 and gets those 2 runs back to make it a 6-3 game. Newberry wearing out the chalk down the line. So Aiden Bauer will now come to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Hasn't gotten in on the act yet. He and Nick Butler are the only 2 that haven't gotten in there. Now the Eagles will appeal to third. I'm not sure. I guess they're appealing whether or not maybe Orr overran the bag. And the infield comes in. 6-3 Newberry. Bauer at the plate with 1 out. The pitch off the plate away. 1 ball and no strikes. Carson-Newman does still have some options in the bullpen. We haven't seen Ryan Smithson this weekend. And he's really the only consistent pitcher that we haven't seen at all yet. The 1-0. Foul ball back into the left. 1-1. Otherwise, Carson-Newman has unloaded their pitching staff. And the problem that Carson-Newman pitching has run into is what so many teams run into against Newberry, and that's by giving up a boatload of base runners. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch off the plate on a fastball, 2-1. Carson-Newman had just scored 2 to pull within a run in the third. But the door flies back open for Newberry, putting pressure on the Eagles. 2-1 pitch. Foul ball again from Bauer. 2-2. Well, it is interesting to think which of these 2 teams is the fresher of the 2. Carson-Newman played early morning yesterday and then had the rest of the day off, but they've already played today, had to be here early at the park. Conversely, Newberry was here till late into the night after that 4.5-hour game against Tusculum after a 6-hour game against Catawba. The 2-2. Line drive to right field. That's a base hit, and add another run to the ledger. Aiden Power gets in on the act, and that makes it a 4-run game again. Double, sacrifice bunt, intentional walk, 2-run triple, RBI single. Newberry taking care of business, and after leading 4-0 and seeing that one dwindle down to 4-3, they've scored 3 times in the 4th. Colin Allman will stand in. Wilson pitches and misses high. 1-0. Well, nobody in the Carson-Newman bullpen. This game right now on Wilson's shoulder. More than anything because Carson-Newman needs some outs. Not a whole lot of options left down there. The 1-0. Foul ball off of first base. What's just so impressive about Newberry is their ability to make contact. In a day and age in which that is not an attractive feature for hitters, unless it is a long fly ball or blistered. Complete difference here. 1-1 pitch. That hits him. And the line keeps on moving here in the 4th. So now here's Nick Butler. He struck out both times so far in this game. Seven to 3 Newberry in the 4th. Still only 1 out. And Butler at the plate. Corner infield is in, thinking Butler might be punting. He does square around and now backs away and takes a strike on the outside corner. All right, has already fired 20 pitches, or Wilson rather. And Carson-Newman switches its alignment around. Genter back to shortstop. 1 strike and nothing to count. Wilson pitches, and a swing and a miss. He gets ahead at 0-2. Already 10 hits for Newberry. They pounded out 15 of them last night. Wilson has the sign. Needs a punch out here, the 0-2. Instead, Butler crushes it to left field. This one is going all the way back to the fence and bangs off the heart of the wall. Picked up by Thompson. Stopping at third base is Allman, but in to score Bauer. Largest lead of the day for Newberry. It's 8-3. The 7th man, or the 8th man rather, of the inning to come to the plate is Ian Clements, and he has 2 singles. And now Ryan Smithson has to get up in the bullpen. Carson-Newman has no other choice. Infield in again. Newberry just making contact. And it has been a rough introduction here for Corey Wilson as he misses off the plate. 1-0. Newberry looking to get to a title game. They have 1 title. That was in 1999. The 1-0. on the inside corner with a fastball for a strike. It's 1-1. Well, the biggest problem for Carson-Newman in terms of its pitching right now isn't necessarily the fact that Smithson's up. It's that we're just here in the fourth, and Wilson, even if he gets through this, is already at 25 pitches as Clemens singles up the middle, past the drawn-in infield for a base hit. Stopping at third base as the throw comes in. Clemens is going to take second on the throw. And that takes the double play ball out of the mix, and it is a 5-run fourth for Newberry. Five runs on 5 hits. The only out that the Eagles have gotten in this inning was on a sacrifice bunt. So they haven't even gotten a traditional out. Literally, Newberry just handed Carson-Newman an out. And Smithson trying to get heated up quickly, and here comes Tom Griffin out of the dugout. And I think Coach Griffin's trying to give Smithson a couple extra seconds to get loose here. And he's going to make the change. So rough outing for Wilson. Gets just 1 out and faces 8 batters. And that's the end of the line for Wilson. New pitcher for Carson-Newman. We'll tell you about him. Newberry leads it 8-3 in the fourth.
Bender, take one.
Tonight's matchup, me versus an ugly fender bender. If I can eke out a win, it's going to be a miracle, baby.
Mr. Vitale, it wouldn't be a miracle because Geico gives you a team of experts to help manage your claim.
It's going to be a nail biter.
No, the Geico team is there for you 24/7.
Geico is awesome, baby. Too much?
I think we got it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
Carson-Newman has to use its third pitcher of the day. A 5-run fourth, and think about this. Just moments ago, it was a 4-3 game. Eagles had some momentum, but the pitching has not panned out for the Eagles as Smithson makes his 10th appearance of the year. An 0-1 record. He has struck out as many as he's walked, 11 in 18 innings pitched. And here comes Zane Terrence, the 9th man of the inning, to come to the plate. And with runners at second and third base, Newberry looking to reach double figures in scoring. Here in just the fourth, they've already cranked out 12 hits. The pitch misses off the plate, down and away. 1-0. Well, Wingate sitting back and now hoping that Carson-Newman's bats can get a little bit frisky and make Newberry use some more pitching, because with how this game is trending, the 1-0, another bunt shown, and Smithson misses again, 2-0. Whatever Joe LaFiora's pitch number is, he's going to hit it. And then I would assume that unless La Fiora can't get an out, much like Carson-Newman hasn't been able to get one here in the fourth. He'd go to 75, 80, whatever that number is, and then they turn it over to whatever they have in the bullpen. The 2-0's on the corner for a strike. 2-1. And Newberry can think about trying to save something up for the title game that would come here after this one. Top of the fourth inning, 9-3 Newberry. The pitch. Bounces in the dirt, 3-1. Well, Smithson had the outing of his life the last time that he faced off against Newberry. That was in Carson-Newman's comeback that fell just short after Smithson left the game. He went 6 innings and gave up just 3 hits and 1 walk and 2 runs rather. But the rest of the bullpen couldn't keep it up. 3-1 pitch. High pop-up. Back behind second base. Brown is coming on. The center fielder all the way into shallow right center to make the grab and then throws it in. Airmails it. Smithson picks it up. And Butler nearly thought about coming home. And for Carson-Newman, thank goodness, Smithson was back there fielding his position. Otherwise, that would have been another Newberry run. And now the man who started off this inning, Dalton Lansdowne, will stand in. So Wilson goes a third of an inning, gives up 5 hits. So far 5 runs, and it can get worse for him if Smithson can't dispatch of Dalton Lansdowne, who's 1 for 2 in the game. Or check that, 2 for 2 in the game. A single and a double. 9-3 Newberry in the fourth. The pitch. Smithson drops one down below the plate. Carson-Newman had the door wide open for him to win a crown. Losing to Wingate 8-2. However, now in a monster hole of 9-3 in the fourth. The pitch. Well downstairs again. 2-0. This is the problem you run into, really, for any team. Unless you just get some type of great pitching, or you're one of the top teams in the league that has great depth. Once you get into this far deep into the bullpen, it is a grind. The 2-0. Ground ball, towering over third and leaping into the air, bows, and it's down the line. 2 runs are going to score. Into second base goes Lansdowne, and it's 11-3 Newberry. A 7-run inning. And all 7 of those go to Corey Wilson. But that's just what Newberry does. They dink and dunk you. And because they put the ball in play, they make it a challenge. And a 7-run fourth has made it an 11-3 game. In the top of the order, and Bales back to the plate. And he takes for a strike. Bales only has 1 official at bat as he singled the lead off the game. He's hit by a pitch in the second and had a sacrifice bunt. Earlier this inning, he was the only out up until that fly out from Terrence. The 0-1. Push through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Ricketts was playing shallow as he makes the play. Throws it to the plate. Parkinson can't make the play. He bodges it. And then heading to second base, and in there safely is Bales. And it's 12-3. Parkinson just couldn't grab it. They had a shot at the runner at the plate. And the 12th man of the inning is getting ready to come to the dish. And it's Luke Orr, and that is not the man you want to see. So with Orr stepping to the plate, the right-hander Smithson pitches, and he misses down and in, 1-0. I'd imagine at this point for Carson-Newman, this game's on Smithson. Probably not a whole lot left down there that the Eagles could turn to try to get some outs. And it's not like he's done a bad job. It's just you get a towering hopper that misses an infielder's glove and a little poke single. The 1-0. Fly ball into left center field. Thompson racing over. He's into the alley to make the catch. And that ends the inning, mercifully for Carson-Newman. And Newberry is erupting. The Wolves' offense is free-flowing after 18 last night. They put up a dozen through 3.5, and it's 12-3. Wolves looking to get to the title game.
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Joe LaFiora has a 12-3 lead to work with as Zach Bose stands in and takes the first pitch strike. Bose homered his only time up so far today. And after the 8-run fourth, Newberry on cruise control. Here's the pitch. This is down and in. 1-1. Well, LaFiora's job is really easy now. After he walked off the mound in the third, it was a 4-3 game, but his offense puts up 8. The pitch. And Bose swings and skies one out to left. Butler camps out underneath it, and this ball finally splashes down into the mitt of the left fielder for the out. And with one out and nobody on, here's Andrew Carpenter. It's the most runs Carson-Newman has allowed in an inning this year. It had been done twice, where a team scored 6 times. Most recently, Tusculum did it on April 12th. LaFiora pitches and misses off the plate to Carpenter, who was struck out in his only at-bat in a 12-3 game here in the bottom of the fourth. But that was just a monstrous inning. The pitch, high, 2-0. But if you're Carson-Newman, Newberry just did it. Why can't you put something similar together? And the thing is, you don't have to get all 8 in an inning. Where it's really going to count right now for Carson-Newman exclusively comes on the mound. The 2-0 in there for a strike, 2-1. It doesn't matter what Carson-Newman's offense does. If the pitching staff can't prevent Newberry from scoring, this thing is going to get ugly in a hurry. The 2-1 pitch. Carpenter pops it up on the infield and foul ground. It's the catcher, Clements, that calls off the first baseman or to make the play. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Charlie Brown coming in. And if you're Carson-Newman, this is what you could not afford, is to allow LaFiora to make this an easy inning of work. 7 pitches in, and the pitch. Brown swings and hits it in the air to left field. Butler has room in front of the warning track, and that's an 8-pitch inning after his team puts up 8. And Carson-Newman is looking at a 12-3 deficit going to the 5th here on the SAC Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth...
It was Mr. Hines who made me want to become a teacher.
And then I said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap.
And that's why we don't try this at home. Any questions?
He inspired me. But it was LMU that helped me turn that dream into a reality.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent.
Bryce Hanley takes over at second base for Carson-Newman. But here we go in the 5th inning. And Jack Harris will start us off, and it has been a rough day for Carson-Newman pitching that had been great in this tournament. Eagles pitching had a 3.25 ERA entering this game in the tournament, and Harris swings and launches a ball down the left field line. If it stays fair, it's out of here, and it's a foul ball. Harris blasted it. He has 5 of the team's 9 homers this year. And in a 12-3 game, here in the 5th, Smithson looking to stop the bleeding. And the 1-strike pitch coming. And that misses downstairs, 1-1. I'm not saying that Russell Triplett is starting to get ready for the title game, the 1-1 pitch. Pop-up foul back into the right. But certainly some of how you manage the rest of this game is getting guys prepared to take on Wingate for the title in our nightcap. Here's the 1-2 from Smithson. Just missed off the plate. 2-2. And that's how you align the rest of your bullpen. And with how LaFiora is going after an 8-pitch inning, he could probably go pretty deep in this one. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Smithson gets a punch out. And finally, the Eagles get something out there on the mound of positivity to begin an inning. As Aiden Bauer stands in, he's 1 for 3. Bauer had an RBI single during that 8-run frame as Smithson misses down and away 1-0. And you start to count up the outs. You get 15 of them to get. 1-0 pitch. Bouncer third base side, hugging the line, and it goes foul as Bose picks it up. 1-1. And with how Carson-Newman is swinging it, aggressive in counts, you'd think that LaFiora can probably give you 2 more innings for certain, depending on what that pitch number is. Maybe even 3. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. And then you just find whichever guy you feel comfortable in that can give you 6 or 9 more outs to get out of this. The 1-2. Misses down and away, 2-2. And if you can get to that point, then that opens the door for everybody in the title game, and that's where things get a little interesting with what Newberry has, the 2-2. Line drive into left field, giving chase over towards the line. Still giving chase. A backhanded effort and a diving snare by Tyler Thompson. Eagles needed more of that early in the game. A really good defensive play. Carson-Newman made 2 errors in the first 2 innings. And Thompson, who isn't known for his defense, was able to make a really nice catch. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Colin Allman will stand in. Allman 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch as Smithson pitches, and here's a towering chopper on 2 in-between hops. Great play by Genter, and he throws it to first. That is a terrific inning defensively by Carson-Newman, and a 1-2-3 frame. Genter leads off the bottom of the 5th. Eagles in a 12-3 hole.
I pledge.
I pledged.
I pledge. I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Micah Genter leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. Carson-Newman needs some offense. After an 8-pitch inning for La Fiora, he's back to work as he kicks and fires. And there's a strike to get ahead at 0-1. Genter at the plate, trying to kickstart a rally here as La Fiora pitches and misses in the dirt for a ball, 1-1. La Fiora pitches and misses off the plate. Now 2-1. Well, if you're Carson-Newman right now, you have 5 innings to go. You're down 8. Just need a couple pretty good innings to at least make this interesting. The 2-1. Genter pulls it to left, but it's right in the sights of Butler, who makes the grab. 5 in a row retired by La Fiora. So now Tyler Thompson, he's 1 of 2. Singled and scored back in the 3rd inning for Carson-Newman. And with the Eagles in a 12-3 hole, the pitch, Thompson takes the strike on the inside corner. Well, it's a very experienced Carson-Newman lineup all told. It just hasn't quite gotten the same type of offensive firepower they had earlier in the year, the 0-1, in a swing and a miss. Carson-Newman just needs a spark. No balls and 2 strikes. Wingate awaits the winner for a championship. The 0-2. Thompson flies it to center. Running back is Terrence. Still going back to the warning track, and he reaches back as he steps onto it. He makes the grab, and that retires Thompson. 2 away. 6 in a row retired by La Fiora. And now Gunnar Ricketts. A single and a failed sacrifice bunt so far. We'll credit La Fiora doing his job. 64 pitches right now. And the offering is up in the zone for ball one. Left-hander on left-hand batter. And now the 1-0 pitch. That's down the middle for a strike. Newberry's last win against Carson-Newman in a conference tournament game, you got to go back to 2013. That was in Forest City. The 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. Newberry won that ball game by a 7-3 tally. Lefty ready and fires and misses high, 3-1. Carson-Newman, though, bounced back, beat Tusculum 9-8, and then LMU 8-3 before falling on the title game as Ricketts takes ball 4 downstairs, and the second walk issued by La Fiora, 2-out walk here in the 5th. That was Carson-Newman's last time playing for a championship. The Eagles made it to championship Monday in 2017, but lost game 1 to Lincoln Memorial, and the Eagles would have needed to win both. Here's the pitch to Henry Jackson, and it misses down for a ball. 70th pitch of the day there for La Fiora. Well, you really do wonder how deep La Fiora can go into this one. There's no throwing in the bullpen. There's some bodies down there now. The 1-0. Fastball hits the outer half for a strike. 1-1. La Fiora has come back on short rest a couple times, but most of those times it's been in short respites. The 1-1. Hard hit ground ball out to short. Easily handled by Allman. He goes the short route to second for the final out of the inning. And we're through 5. Newberry in control, 12-3.
Broken windshield, take 1.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, Jack.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
I just did not have a lot of stability.
I was facing foreclosure, not working at all, didn't have any money.
I could not go to school and work, so I found Mars Hill.
The experience here has been so wonderful.
It's been amazing.
I was able to have the full-time hours without the full-time load.
They are just incredibly supportive.
And Mars Hill is very affordable.
Mars Hill University Adult and Graduate Studies. Education that moves mountains.
I will be the first in my family to graduate with my bachelor's degree.
Nick Butler leads off the top of the 6th inning for Newberry. And the right-hand pitcher, Smithson, goes to work as he pitches, and he hits the outside corner for a strike coming off of a much-needed 1-2-3 5th. And with the count at 1 strike and nothing, he's into his motion and firing, and that one's on the outside corner for a strike. Well, you wonder you can always second-guess decisions that are made, but you wonder if going to Corey Wilson was the right one at the right time. The 0-2 misses down and away. 1-2. It had just become a 4-3 ball game. And they go to Wilson, and he only retires 1 of the 8 batters that he faces. And gives up 7 earned, and those 7 are just huge. The 1-2 pitch. foul ball back into the right-hand side. Right-hand pitcher Smithson delivers, and he misses off the plate. 2-2. The 8-run fourth. And that fourth inning will give Carson-Newman nightmares unless their offense finds a way to get back into it. The 2-2 pitch. Missed off the plate with a fastball, 3-2. Smithson, so far an inning and 2/3 of relief. And a payoff pitch here in the inning, coming plateward. And a hard hit ground ball out to short. Gobbling it up is Genter, and a strong, high velocity throw over to first base is plucked out of there by a leaning Henry Jackson. 5 straight retired by Smithson. And in steps Ian Clemens, who's 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. 30th pitch of the day right there for Smithson. Game's on his shoulders right now. 12-3 Newberry in the 6th. The pitch. Clemens squares the bunt, and he takes strike 1. Carson-Newman only 4 hits all day long. Newberry is 8 for 17 with runners in scoring position. The 0-1 in there again for a strike, 0-2. Well, at the very least, Smithson's giving Carson-Newman a reason to hope. The 0-2 pitch just missed off the plate. Parkinson went out to the outer half of the dish. Now the pitch, high on a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Great day, 78 degrees, sunny, and brilliant weather here in East Tennessee. Now the 2-2. Yanked foul off the third down into the corner. Nobody went to go get that ball down in that left field corner, and now somebody from Carson-Newman has to go track it down. Griff Hughes almost fell over. Two balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. Misses down and away, 3-2 from 0-2 to 3-2. Now the payoff pitch. Another foul ball. This one skips down into the corner again. (12-3). Newberry in control thanks to an 8-run fourth. And a spot in the championship game on the line. The payoff again. Clements lines it out to center. Brown racing back, still going back. He was playing shallow. And now he opens up the body, angling towards right field to make the grab. Braylon Marine will pinch hit here in the 6th inning for Zane Terrence. So Marine will pinch hit. And the right-hand hitter swings at the first pitch. Flies it out to right center field. Ricketts giving chase over there. Gets called off by Charlie Brown, and the center fielder makes the grab. 7 in a row retired by Smithson. Now he needs the offense to light it up. The middle of the order coming up, 12-3 Newberry. Newberry looking to eliminate Carson-Newman after the Eagles were the team to beat entering the day. Carson-Newman is firmly on the ropes. A 12-3 Newberry lead, bottom of the sixth. Eagles running out of time and desperately need some offense. Matt Parkinson will lead us off, a 2-run double in the game, 1 for 2. And LaFiora back to the mound and blowing one right by Parkinson for strike 1. 73 pitches for LaFiora. Newberry has started to get a right-hander up and throwing. Down in the pen, first sign of that today. The 0-1. Parkinson takes the ball in the dirt. 1-1. So after LaFiora threw 87 on Friday, back here on Monday, the 1-1, down and in, 2-1. Two balls and a strike, the pitch. Parkinson pulls it foul off of third. And the count evens up here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, one would assume that LaFiora right now is probably working in his last inning on the mound. And a 2-2 pitch coming from the left-hander. Parkinson hits it in the air to right. This will hang up for Harris as he gets over towards the line. And he's there to make the grab to retire Parkinson. Well, Carson-Newman was trying to pull off something that had only been done twice in the history of the conference, and that was seeing a team that wasn't one of the top 4 in the regular season win a championship. But down by 9, the pitch stays high. Ball 1 to Harrison Travis, who's 0 for 2 in the game. Hit the ball hard his last time up. But put it right to the shortstop Allman. The lefty pitches, and Travis takes a strike on the outside corner. Left-handers ready, the 1-1. Travis hits it in the air to straightaway center. Racing back, the new center fielder, Marine. He looks up as this one bangs one hop off of the fence. Travis pulls into second base, and that ends a string of 7 in a row retired. 8 in a row retired, rather, by LaFiora. 5th hit of the game for Carson-Newman. So here comes Zach Bowes. Carson-Newman down 12-3. Got to get something going now. Could use a couple runs this inning. The pitch. LaFiora gets it in there for a strike. That was number 81 of the day. Well, Newberry, we've talked a little bit about Carson-Newman's pitching injuries. You talk about a team that's been decimated this year. That's Newberry in terms of its pitching. The 1-strike pitch, swing and a miss. Josh Bookbinder, who was going to be the ace of this staff, more than likely, pitched 2/3 of an inning against Carson-Newman on February 20th, and he was done. After 6 2/3 of great baseball against North Greenville, he was going to be a great pitcher for them this year, and he was lost for the season in the second week of February. The 0-2. Bowes hits one high in the air. Shortstop Allman out into shallow left, gets called off by Butler, and it's the left fielder that takes charge to grab it out of the air. And, of course, we talked yesterday about Tomas Sorsha Jr., dealing with injuries, the grad student from Saluda, South Carolina, that's been in and out. Gave him 4 great innings against Catawba before the rain delay. And La Fiora, who threw a no-hitter in his first start on the varsity team in high school, that has been great so far and looking to get through the sixth. 83 pitches in. Bryce Hanley at the plate. He took over at second base earlier, and the first pitch to him is in there for strike one. Hanley got the start in game one today for Carson-Newman. Drew a walk, had some good at-bats, though. Trying to get something similar going here. The pitch. Hanley fouls it back. Well, it's not often that you can look at just one half inning and say that's the entirety of the game, but Newberry's fourth is the one that will haunt Carson-Newman. The 8 runs given up, the most of the season by the Eagles. The 0-2. Hanley pulls it sharply inside of the third baseline, past the diving Bauer, and into the corner. Here comes Travis to the plate. He scores. Hanley stops at second base. The Eagles back on the board. An RBI double from Bryce Hanley makes it 12-4. Well, I mentioned it earlier. The bottom of this Carson-Newman lineup has to get going if they're going to get back in it. And after taking Carpenter out to replace him with Hanley, Hanley comes up big. Now let's see if Brown can keep the line moving. 12-4 ball game. La Fiora still out there as he pitches, and he misses down and away for ball one. 12 runs, 14 hits, 5 left on base for Newberry. 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 3 left aboard for the Eagles out of Carson-Newman. And they throw back to second base. Hanley on the bag. That ball nearly hit him in the back. And the second baseman Lansdowne nearly didn't get over in time. Otherwise, Hanley would have taken one right to the middle of his 2 on the back of his jersey. La Fiora is ready out there on the mound as he pitches. And he misses off the plate, and he falls into a 2-0 hole. Well, the right-hander is loose in the bullpen for Newberry. Just trying to get La Fiora here through the 6th. The 2-0 pitch. Brown swings and hits a high fly ball to deep left field. That one's hooking down the line. It's out of here. Off the top of the roof of the Calhouns at the yard. A 2-run blast for Brown, and just like that, the Eagles have trimmed it to a 12-6 game. Carson-Newman not done yet. This is what they needed. A 3 spot in the 6th. Coming with 2 outs. And now Micah Genter. Base is empty now. A 3-run inning. And the first pitch from La Fiora is on the inside corner for a strike. How about Carson-Newman? Double from Travis. Double from Hanley. Home run Brown. 12-6 game. The 0-1. Genter fouls it off. Now in an 0-2 hole. The Eagles would like to keep chipping away. The top of the order looms. La Fiora comes set. And his 92nd pitch of the day on an 0-2. Genter pushes it down the first base line, and it'll bounce into the bullpen to keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Game's over an hour old now. over 2 hours old. La Fiora and Genter going to work here. 12-6 game now. The pitch. Genter hits it out to center. It should wrap it up. Marine comes on, and he makes the catch. And that ends the inning. But Carson-Newman gets 3. A long ball from Brown highlights the inning. And Carson-Newman sneaking closer. 12-6 game. We go to the 7 here on the SAC Digital Network.
Every student comes to Wingate with a story. I know I did. Our students come from all walks of life.
They come to us as young people with hopes and dreams of their own. They're looking to Wingate to become the best version of themselves, and that's what we do.
The effect that Wingate has on me is compounded by the effect I have on the world after I leave Wingate.
Because making a difference is fundamental
to what we are as a university
and who we are as people.
A 3-run 6th inning for Carson-Newman has trimmed the margin down to a 12-6 contest. And Ryan Smithson, who has retired 7 in a row, back to work here in the 7th inning. It'll be Dalton Lansdowne, who's 3 for 3 so far today, to dig in. 12-6 Newberry in the elimination game with a spot in the title game on the line. And the first pitch was a fastball right down the middle. It goes off of the glove of Parkinson to the backstop for ball 1. And because he didn't catch it, he didn't get the call. 1 ball, no strikes. Bunt shown again. This one misses up in the zone, and now 2-0. I mean, that first pitch completely changes the whole complexion of the at-bat. Righty on right-hand batter, the 2-0. Smithson delivers. This time he gets the strike. 2-1. 12-6 Newberry, the 8-run 4th, the difference in the game right now. And the pitch, and that hits Lansdowne near his left shoulder, and that snaps that string that Smithson had put together. Well, I mentioned it earlier. If Carson-Newman has any chance of getting back in this game, it has to be the pitching staff that gets the job done. Top of the lineup coming back to the plate, Zachary Bales. Been aboard 3 times today. 2 hits. And Lansdowne is going to need a little bit of a glance from the training staff here at the ballpark. I don't know if it just hit him in the elbow, maybe in that funny bone area. Might have a little bit of a stinger. And in a 12-6 game in the 7th. Lansdowne will stay in the game. And now Bales, and the bunt would certainly be on here as Bales squares and takes a strike on a fastball inside. Micah Genter back over to third base with Bose playing out at shortstop as the Eagles continue to make that adjustment back and forth. One strike pitch coming from the right-hander, and it's a bunt third base side. Genter will pick it up, throw on the run over to first. Jackson able to keep his foot on the bag for the out. So that'll be a 5-3 sacrifice that gets Lansdowne to second base and brings Luke Orr to the plate. Orr is 1 for 3, but has drawn a walk. Newberry looking to tack on some insurance as Clay Morrell has started to throw in Carson-Newman's bullpen. He was getting loose at the end of the Wingate game, an 8-2 Carson-Newman loss. Smithson readies, and he fires. And a fly ball hit out to left field. Thompson has to go back. In front of the warning track, he's there to make the grab. Staying put at second base is Lansdowne. Smithson 2/3 of the way home and dealing with Jack Harris, who's been boom or bust. 3 RBIs on 2 hits and also 2 strikeouts, so 2 for 4. And here in the top of the 7th inning with 2 outs and a runner at second, it's 12-6 Newberry. The right-hand pitcher looking to get out of this inning and put up a 0 for what would be a 3rd straight frame. Smithson comes set, he pitches, and that's off the plate, down and away, 1-0. Jake Wright started it, dealt with all sorts of traffic. Gave up 4 runs. Corey Wilson came in, only got 1 out and gave up 7 earned. Smithson has since come in and gone 3 1/3 innings. 1-run baseball. The 1-0. Misses downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Harris is the middle of this 3 straight all-conference selection group. And with the count at 2 balls and no strikes, Smithson delivers, and he misses off the plate away, and now it's 3-0. Aiden Bauer waiting in the on-deck circle. Newberry doubling up Carson-Newman in the runs and hits column. 12-6 is the score. Eagles still 9 more outs to go, but they got to continue to pitch it. The 3-0. Fly ball cranked back to deep left center field. Going back, Brown all the way to the wall, and this one's way out of here. Jack Harris makes it a 14-6 game, and Newberry inching closer to a spot in the title game. Pitch out over the plate. And on a 3-0 pitch, Harris gets the green light, and boy, did he not miss it. His 2nd homer of the tournament. And there's strike 1 taken to Aiden Bauer on a fastball down. And this has been the problem all day. Every time Carson-Newman seems to get right back some momentum, Newberry answers as Bauer fouls off the 0-1, and now it's 0-2. And instead of it being a 6-run game, it's back out to 8. 14-6. The pitch, down and in, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes the count. With 2 outs, nobody on, Smithson pitches, and a ground ball pulled off of first. Just a tough day here for Carson-Newman. Handed to Wingate and Austin Mitchell. What an excellent effort on the mound for the starting right-hander. Complete game effort, 2 earned. And then give credit to LaFiora in this lineup. The 1-2. Down and away. 2-2. Newberry came in ready. Team that lost on Friday night has bounced back. The 2-2. Off the plate, 3-2. Newberry getting past Catawba, getting past Tusculum, And now looking to knock the door down against Carson-Newman. Ahead 14-6 in the 7th. And here's the payoff pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3 to end the inning. But Newberry adds 2 on the long ball from Harrison. It's 14-6 at stretch time.
Our decision as a conference last Thursday to cancel the spring season was not made lightly.
What an outing by Joe LaFiora. 6 innings, does give up 6 earned on 7 hits with 2 walks allowed and 3 strikeouts, but gets 93 pitches and 6 innings in, and he turns the ball over to Josh Stempahar. And the right-hander is making his 13th appearance of the year as a 7.71 ERA. And he'll be asked to try to close this thing out in a 14-6 game. Bottom of the 7th, Tyler Thompson starts off and swings and misses for strike 1. Stempahar has faced Carson-Newman once so far this season, went 2 scoreless innings back on February 20th. But he's had a couple rough outings in a row. The 1-strike pitch from the right-hander, and Thompson pulls it past the third baseman Bauer. Into left field for a base hit, and if the Eagles are going to mount a comeback, top of the lineup will try to start it here with Thompson on a base hit. Just the 8th hit of the day for Carson-Newman. Over the last 4 outings for Stempahar, he's given up 17 runs in 11 1/3 innings. He has been getting hit hard. Only has 3 strikeouts in that stretch. Gunnar Ricketts at the plate. 1 for 2 with a walk. 14-6 Newberry, and Ricketts takes off the outer half for a ball. Elimination game here in the SAC Baseball Championships. Carson-Newman facing elimination for the first time since the play-in game, after losing to Wingate in the first game here today. 1 ball and no strikes. A pause from the right-hander and a pitch. And there's a fastball in the outside corner, 1-1. The good news for Newberry, though, is Stempahar has been pitching deeper. He's gone at least 4 innings in each of his last 2 outings. And certainly in those situations, you'll take what you can get when you're up by 8 here in the conference tournament. Fastball outside corner for a strike. Trying to preserve pitching. He's a 6'5" right-hander, 245, a grad student from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Had been the team's closer last year. Runner at first, Thompson there with nobody out. The 1-2 off the plate, down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Overall in the career for Stempahar, this is his 35th career appearance. He opened his career as a starting pitcher back in 2017 as he pitches and misses down 3-2. Threw 40 2/3 innings and went 2-2 as a rookie. Payoff pitch coming. 14-6 game in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Down and in. There's ball 4. Just like that, the Eagles had the first 2 aboard here in the 7th. Kenny Bergman is also taken over behind the plate. And now Henry Jackson will get his turn. Stempahar last pitched on April 18th against LR, 4 2/3 in a game in which Newberry lost. And the pitch to Henry Jackson is down the middle for a strike. 0-1. That was a 9-3 win for the Bears in the finale. Stempahar was hit with the loss, giving up 5 earned. Two men on, nobody out. And an 0-1 pitch. Jackson rolls it to third base, but it goes foul. And he's now in a 2-strikes-to-nothing hole. You're just starting to add up some of these numbers. So 9 outs to go, 8-run game. Can you get maybe 5 or 6 in the next 2 innings if you're Carson-Newman? To get you right in that range, and then the question is, can you pitch well enough to keep Newberry off the scoreboard? – 14-6 game, bottom of the 7th. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Jackson stays alive with a foul ball back. Carson-Newman played early yesterday, started at 11 a.m. against Wingate. Came out of there with a 5-4 win against the top relief pitcher in the conference, Brody McCullough, touching him up for 5 runs, the most he's given up all year. The 0-2. This is down 1-2. And after Wingate beat Catawba yesterday in a walk-off, as Carson Simpson lined a base hit into right field against the conference's pitcher of the year, Brian Ketchie, to hand him his first loss of the season. The Dogs beat the Eagles today. The 1-2 is on the inside corner. It's strike 3 called. Jackson didn't like the call, but Stempahar gets his first punch out. 4th punch out total by Newberry pitching, and here comes Matt Parkinson, who's 1 for 3 with a 2-run double. And what a distant memory that 2-run double seems to be right now. That happened in the 3rd inning, and at the time it made it a 4-3 game. (14-6). Newberry leads thanks to an 8-run 4th. The pitch off the plate away. Well, if recent history tells us anything, Stempahar is going to give up something, or as we're seeing here, at least give you a chance to get something. But the question becomes, can Carson-Newman make that a big something? The 1-0. Parkinson fouls it back. 1-1. Well, by this point in the conference tournament, particularly after you lose a game and you have to play that extra contest, pitching options are dwindling, and as we've seen with Carson-Newman having to get Morrell up and loosening, and I think they got another righty getting ready down there as well. The 1-1. Curveball inside corner. There's strike 2, 1-2. It looks like Clay Simpson is starting to get stretched out for Carson-Newman, and that just speaks to the desperation that the Eagles have to use because Simpson hasn't pitched this year. The big right-hander, 6'6", 225. 1-2 the count to Parkinson. Here's the pitch. Parkinson leans the bat out there, flares it behind first, or gives chase and foul ground, and stepping onto the warning track, he makes the grab. And after the first 2 reach in the inning, Stempahar buckling down. And just when it looked like the Eagles were buckling in, 2 outs and 2 on, and now Killian Daughtry, who had been in the concussion protocol, is pinch hitting for Harrison Travis here in the 7th. Eagles had been on this run without Daughtry, who had been one of the team's hottest hitters this month. He got hurt against Newberry as the right-hander comes set and now pitches, and he misses down and in with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Daughtry was hitting .424 when he came out of the lineup, a home run and 12 RBIs in 10 games this month, and that was a big loss for this group. The 1-0 off the outside corner, 2-0. And just a presence that the Eagles have missed in that lineup, just an extra dimension that they don't have without him out there. 4-year starter. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch on the outside corner with a fastball at the knees, 2-1. Well, Wingate's awaiting the winner of this one. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, all signs point to the team in red. Two men on, 2 outs. The pitch. High, 3-1. Thompson led off the inning with a base hit. Team's 8th of the day. Ricketts drew a walk, but Jackson and Parkinson have been unable to move him along. Carson-Newman looking for their chance to sneak back into this one, but a long road to go. Down 14-6. 3-1 the count here to Daughtry. The pitch from Sempahar is on the inside corner of the fastball. 3-2. Daughtry steps out of the box. Newberry sensing an opportunity to get out of some trouble. And the right-hander is set. The runners will get a head start. The payoff on the outside corner, strike 3 called, and it ends the inning. 2 punch outs from Stempahar. Eagles leave him at first and second. And just like that, Carson-Newman's threat thwarted in the inning. And it is a 14-6 game going to the 8th.
You're right. That's a 5th floor problem.
Not in my house. No. Not today.
Jimmy, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico?
Happier than Dikembe Mutombo blocking a shot.
Nice.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Ryan Smithson's day is done. Pretty solid effort out of the bullpen. If not for a 2-run home run with 2 outs from Jack Harris. Great. 3 2/3, 3 earned, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts. And now Clay Morrell is out of the bullpen for Coach Tom Griffin, making the 5th appearance of the season for the freshman from Sevier County High School. And the first pitch is a nice sweeping slider in there for strike one. Well, Smithson righted the ship, but it was a little bit too late for the Eagles. Right-hander Morrell delivers here to Allman, and he punches one down the first baseline foul. 0-2. Indeed, Clay Simpson has started to get loose in Carson-Newman's bullpen. Well, certainly if you're Carson-Newman, this is an opportunity to get ready for next season. See what you got. The 0-2 pitch. Misses inside with a slider. Fastball slider changeup for Morrell, making his first appearance since seeing Tusculum 14 days ago. The 1-2. Fly ball hit out to left center field. Brown hustling over there. The center fielder still going back, and he's able to make the catch on the run in the alleyway. One up, one down. And now Nick Butler, 1 for 4. Had an RBI double. Back in the fourth. His only damage done so far. But Newberry's offense has done all sorts of damage. 15 hits. And Morrell pitches in a bunt attempt. Push third base side. Will be picked up by Morrell, and that'll be a base hit. Butler drops one down. Perfectly placed. And now Kenny Bergman. So Bergman will stand in. And the right-handed hitting catcher, with one out in a 14-6 game, will get his hacks as Morrell punches in a strike on the outside corner. Bergman just 1 for 6 so far in the tournament. Has mostly been used either as a pinch hitter or a late inning substitute. The 0-1 misses down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, typically the team that wins these tournaments has the best pitching depth, or if they're lacking the overall depth, gets a couple really, really good outings. As Morrell misses up, it's 1-1. That makes sure that you don't have to use too much. Wingate would appear to be in pretty good position. And with what has happened in this game, Newberry wouldn't be in too bad position either. The 2-1. Misses down and away. 3 balls and a strike. Three balls and 1 strike with a runner at first. Here's the pitch. Well off the plate. Ball 4. So after the bunt single, a walk. And back to Braylon Marine. Flew out to center field, his only time up. Morrell gets a sign from Parkinson. Now pitches. And a foul ball back. Morrell gets ahead at 0-1. Newberry 2 runs in the first, 2 more in the second. Carson-Newman put a dent into it with a run in the second. 2 more in the third to make it a 4-3 game, and then the wheels came off. The pitch. Misses downstairs, 1-1. An 8-run 4th inning. 8 of the first 9 reached, and all 8 of them came in to score in that inning. Smithson calmed it down. The Eagles pulled within 12-6 in the 6th, but a 2-out, 2-run homer from Jack Harris made it 14-6, and that's where we stand now here in the 8th. The 1-1. Foul ball down the right field line. 1-2. Josh Stempahar is the man that will carry the load the rest of the way. And you wonder what Newberry will do in the title game. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And a foul tip straight back, keeping the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Possibility that we see Matthew Campbell start that game. He's thrown just an inning and a third in this tournament. He's one of their more consistent pitchers this year. 1-2 the pitch. And another foul ball, this one over towards the Newberry dugout. You wonder what the health of Tomas Sorsha is. 4 innings after missing 2 weeks, had to come out of the Lincoln Memorial game on April 10th with an injury. And then things get a little bit interesting with what else they have to offer. The 1-2 slider, pretty good movement to it, but goes way outside. And now Matt Parkinson is heading out to the mound. I don't know if that was a cross-up or not. And I think that potentially that was, because Parkinson's asking him if he knew what that sign was, and now they get on the same page and go their separate ways. So after that conversation, 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and 1 out in the 8th. Morrell pitches, and a fly ball hit down the right field line. Heading over to the corner and watching it bounce foul is Jordan Griffin, who is coming to the game to play right field. Two balls, 2 strikes, and another pitch. And Marine spoils another one. This is a really good at bat here from Braylon Marine, who hasn't played a whole lot in this tournament. I just one at bat coming in. This is his second of this game, and a throwback to second base. Hanley sneaking in behind the runner. We'll have one more game tonight. Knocks things out, a 13th game in the conference tournament, as Morrell misses off the plate. 3-2. Morrell coming set out there on the mound, and another payoff pitch coming as he brings it up there, and another foul ball. Morrell just cannot put one by him. And Marine refuses to put the ball in play. And a payoff pitch coming. Yet again with 1 out. Runners are not going, and Marine lines the ball out to right center field. Brown circles around it, makes the grab, and lobs it back to the infield with neither runner considering going anywhere. So finally, Morrell wins the battle. And with 2 outs and 2 on, Dalton Lansdowne, the 9-hole batter, will get a chance here in the 8th to add to this Newberry lead. Lansdowne's been aboard all 4 times today as Morrell pitches and throws it to the backstop. This takes a awkward bounce, and Parkinson has to get back there to get it. And a wild pitch gets the runners into scoring position. Morrell just has such wicked movement on a slider. And unless he starts it almost behind the hitter, it has a shot at eluding the catcher. The 1-0 pitch. That nearly hit him. Misses down and in, 2-0. Clay Simpson has started throwing strikes, or throwing pitches down in the bullpen. Morrell needs strikes. He's in a 2-0 hole as he delivers, and here's a line drive down the left field line, but foul. And Morrell gets a strike to make it 2-1. (14-6) Newberry, looking to leave no doubt. And another big offensive day as this pitch misses up and in. 3-1. Put up 18 last night against Tusculum. Wind is blowing out pretty strong down the right field line. And another payoff pitch. Check that, another 3-1 pitch from Morrell. And he gets the outside corner to make it a payoff pitch. He's gone deep into counts. This is the 3rd straight batter he's gone to a 3-ball count to. And his pitch count racking up here in the 8th. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Morrell pitches. And a fly ball hit out to high left center field. Brown circulates underneath it. He's there to make the catch. He gets all 3 outs in the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Newberry leads it 14-6.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you? Zach Bose starts off the bottom of the 8th inning. Eagles 6 outs to go, down by 8, 14-6. Bose today homered back in his first at-bat, has since flown out twice. And Stempahar starts him with a pitch off the plate away for ball 1. Well, the 8-run 4th is the difference in the game. Newberry a major inning that time. And now the 1-0 pitch off the plate away. 2 balls, no strikes. Stempahar threw 24 pitches in a high-stress 7th, but after giving up
A single and a walk to start the frame. Struck out 2 of the final 3 to get out of it. The 2-0. Bose flies it out to right center field. Harris sticks his glove in the air to shade the sun and puts it in the perfect place to make the grab. That retires Bose. 1 up, 1 down in the 8th. 4 straight retired by Stempahar. And here comes Bryce Hanley, who had an RBI double in his only at-bat so far after entering as a second baseman in the 5th. Doubled in the 6th. And the third baseman, Bauer, is right on the line. A lot of room back up the middle for Hanley. Stempahar to pitch. Brings it plateward. Misses high and away on a fastball for ball 1. Well, it's been a great season for Carson-Newman and a team that found its rhythm at the right time in the conference tournament, but runs into a couple buzzsaws as Stempahar hits the outside corner for a strike. 1-1. And you just have to tip your cap. The two teams that Carson-Newman has played in this Monday afternoon portion of the tournament. The 1-1 pitch. Hanley fouls it back. Ball's now into a 1-ball, 2-strike hole. Hanley has been good, however. Deep into counts. He's been able to spoil some pitches. Right-hander comes set. He pitches, and Hanley hits it in the air to right. Long run here for Harris. Still coming, and now he leans to his left and makes the catch. Good play by Harris, who got a great read on it. Back-to-back flyouts to right. And here comes Charlie Brown. Brown homered his last time up, a 2-run shot. Gave Carson-Newman a bit of a jolt at the time. But in a 14-6 game, Eagles have only 4 more outs to work with. Stempahar looking to close this one down. The right-hander fires, and he misses high for a ball, 1-0. Stempahar, the 1-0 pitch, and Brown twists it foul and out of play back into the left-hand side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, there's not going to be a lot of time in between games. I think they were talking maybe 30 minutes. Wingate get here. Let them do some quick hitting in the cages at the end of this one. And since both teams have already played, get him back out there like it'd be a doubleheader in the regular season, the 1-1. Brown lines it. Nice backhanded play off one hop by the shortstop Allman, and he throws out Brown to end the inning. He hit it hard, but a good defensive play by the Newberry shortstop ends the inning. We're through 8. To the 9th we go. Newberry looks to add on, leading at 14-6 with a shot in the title game on the line.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
Fresh vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Bo Thompson pinch hits, and Carson-Newman brings in a new pitcher. Clay Simpson's making just the third outing of his career and first of the season. The redshirt freshman from Irwin, Tennessee. And Simpson throws a first pitch fastball down the middle for strike one. 6'6", 225 for Simpson, getting his first action of the year. Gets ahead of Thompson at 1 strike and nothing. Right-hander into his motion and firing, and a swing and a foul ball back to get ahead at 0-2. Simpson, fastball and a wipeout curveball. 2 pitches in his repertoire. Thompson 3 for 5 in this tournament. And the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a pitch down, and the tag applied by Parkinson. So good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Close the book on Morrell, an inning, a hit, a walk, 27 pitches, but no runs. And in a 14-6 ball game, Luke Orr will stand in. Orr continued his hot hitting with an RBI triple, but has since been held in check. Been intentionally walked once. Officially, he's 1 for 4. 1 out in a 14-6 game in the 9th, and the pitch misses downstairs for ball 1. No other changes for Carson-Newman. Perhaps maybe the Eagles would make some in the bottom of this inning with some pinch hitters. Two balls and no strikes. With 1 out, nobody on the pitch, and it's a foul ball hit down the left field line, out of play. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count. And the right-hander Simpson pitches, and he misses downstairs. Count stays even at 3, or moves now to 3-1. The pitch, high and tight, ball 4. That had been the problem for Simpson last year. And now Jack Harris, who is a double shy of the cycle. Single and a run produced in the first, a 2-run triple in the 4th, and a 2-run home run in the 7th. With a runner at first base, Simpson pitches, and that hits him. So he doesn't get a chance to go for the cycle. He gets hit by the pitch. And how he reacted, he was upset that he got hit by the pitch. So strikeout, walk, hit batter. And now Aiden Bauer and the all-conference players giving Simpson fits. So now here's Bauer, the left-handed hitter, and Simpson to work from the stretch. The pitch on the outside corner, the fastball strike. Newberry leads it 14-6. 3 outs away from playing Wingate for the championship. The 1-strike pitch. That misses down and away, 1-1. I'd imagine we'd probably be looking at somewhere between 5:30 and 5:45 for the start of the title game, depending on how this next inning goes. Trying to get that thing rolling. The 1-1 off the plate, 2-1. Well, nothing like getting some of these guys some opportunities to get out there on the mound just to see what they have to offer. 2 balls and 1 strike, and Carson-Newman's run here in the postseason will come to an end. The 2-1. Ground ball out to second. Hanley picks it, shovels it over to second, and Genter for 1 over to first. That's a double play ball. And the Eagles roll it up and get Simpson out of the inning. So 4-6-3, the double play. That ends the frame. Eagles need 8 to stay around. 14-6. Newberry 3 outs away from getting to the title game.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Emery Peterson will pinch hit for Carson-Newman here in the 9th inning. Eagles need a monster rally, down 14-6 here to Newberry. And a big 8-run fourth. The difference in the game and the reason why the Wolves are going to play for a championship. The pitch down the middle to Peterson. 1-1 from Stempahar. Done a really nice job out of the bullpen. Retired 6 in a row since giving up a single and a walk. The 1-1. Peterson slaps it out towards shortstop. Allman can't handle it. That'll be an error. And the Eagles get the leadoff man aboard in the 9th. Newberry's played such a clean game and so good. And a rare mistake with Jordan Griffin coming to the plate. He entered in right field earlier. And the right-hand hitter who had 2 hits in the win against Wingate yesterday stands in and takes strike 1. Well, reality is set in for Carson-Newman. Eagles getting their final cuts here in the conference tournament on a long day at the ballpark. The pitch off the plate, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike with a runner at first. Here's the pitch. That's off the plate. Now it's 2-1. Well, I suppose crazier things have happened. And if you're Wingate, you're hoping that Carson-Newman can put something together, maybe force Newberry to use another arm. Only needed to use 2. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. This is down, and it's 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch. Griffin spoils it, fouls it down the right field line, 3-2. Carson-Newman at one point in this game trailed 4-3, but the 8-run fourth for Newberry turned the game on its head. The payoff. Griffin hits it down the right field line. Lengthy run here for Harris. This one is going to elude his glove, bounce off the grass, and be picked up by Harris. He was going to throw it to second base, and that was almost a disaster for Newberry because everybody had gone to the right side of the infield. Griffin's into second with a double. And if he throws it to second base, there's nobody there. And Carson-Newman would have had two pretty easy runs there. So a double from Griffin. And now Brendan Kroeb will stand in. Kroeb hitting .216 on the year. Has been mired with injuries throughout this tournament. And the pitch is on the way, and Kroeb takes a fastball for a strike. Kroeb in the tournament has been hit by a pitch in his only at bat. And he had one of the most dramatic moments of the season this year for Carson-Newman. The one strike pitch on the way. Kroeb hits it high in the air to left. Butler going over towards the alleyway, and he makes the grab. Tagging and scoring from third base, Peterson. Griffin hustles over to third. Kroeb touches the bases. More than likely the last at bat of his collegiate career for Brendan Kroeb, and Carson-Newman gets a run back to make it 14-7. Hugs for Kroeb. At the very least, for the young man, it's a productive out. And here comes Carson Kemp pinch hitting for the Eagles. 14-7 the score now, and the pitch is up and away with a fastball. Kemp has not had an official at bat this year. Hasn't had a hit in his career so far. A runner at third base in a 7-run game, and Kemp takes down and in 2-0. Well, if you're Newberry, you got plenty of pad. You only need 2 more outs. So Sempahar has as long of a leash as you can imagine. 2 balls and no strikes. Sempahar pitches. This is off the plate with a fastball. Three and 0 the count. Kemp looking to draw the walk and keep the line moving here in the 9th. Sempahar pitches. That nearly hits Kemp, and it's ball 4. And the Eagles have him at the corners with just 1 out. So now Spencer Bright will pinch hit for Matt Parkinson. 14-7 game, bottom of the 9th. Runners at the corners and 1 out. Sempahar pitches, and he misses off the plate. That was a 50th offering for Sempahar. And all these pinch hitters making things a little bit nervy right now for Newberry. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. That's off the plate. It's 2-0. Bright getting his first cuts of the tournament. This is his first career at bat as well. And here comes the mound visit. And this is a situation where, as a coach, you go out there and say, hey, we're up by 7. Let's go. We got more work to do in the nightcap to try to win a championship. And this is one where, as a pitcher, you just feel helpless. You can't find the zone. And the Eagles looking over their lineup cards, trying to see who else they can get an opportunity to hit. Lindy Hall gave Newberry a lot of time here. I mean, we got a triple header here at the park for the third time in 4 days. I don't know why we're not breaking this up here. I don't think Stempahar has any issues. And after all that, Stempahar good to go. He's in a 2-0 hole, though. Here's Spencer Bright. It's a 7-run game. And the right-handed hitting, reserve catcher at the dish. The 2-0. There's a strike. Stempahar gets back in it. 2-1. Runner leads away from first and third. The pitch misses downstairs. 3-1. Wingate awaits. And after Carson-Newman opened the day needing 2 wins to win a championship, they'll come away with none. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That's down the middle with a fastball for a strike. 3-2. Stempahar's ready. The payoff. That hits him. And the Eagles have the bases loaded. And Killian Daughtry will step to the plate. So here's Killian Daughtry. Bases are loaded and 1 out. Daughtry struck out his first time up. And he takes a fastball for a strike. He left runners at first and second base. Back when he hit, Zach Bose is in the on-deck circle. Oh, such a steep mountain to climb for Carson-Newman, but still 2 outs to go. The righty pitches, and a ground ball out to second. Picked up by Lansdowne to Allman for 1. Over to first, in time. Double play, and Newberry is playing for a SAC championship. So in a game that takes 3 hours and 10 minutes to complete, it's Newberry eliminating Carson-Newman. The final score is Newberry 14 and Carson-Newman 7. And despite a valiant pitching effort out of the bullpen by Carson-Newman, the bullpen combined to throw nearly 6 innings of 3-run baseball. Just could not iron it down. And Carson-Newman, who had a wonderful year, its best season in the SAC in quite a while, almost a decade. The Eagles fall shy by a final tally of 14-7. And we take a look at the final line score. 14 runs on 16 hits for Newberry. Joe LaFiora, fantastic. 3-2. He improves too. Josh Stempahar actually gets the save there. Jake Wright takes the loss, and Carson-Newman eliminated from the conference tournament. Charlie Brown hits a 2-run home run. LaFiora 6 strong innings. Jack Harris 5 RBIs. And Newberry gets to play for a title. First pitch is at 5:40. It's the Wolves and the Dogs coming up here from Smoky Stadium. Hope you stick with us, and we'll have the title game for you here on the SAC Digital Network. For our entire crew in this one, it's Newberry advancing to the championship game here on the SAC Digital Network. We'll talk to you again shortly.